Hello, I'm Archie Luxury. Welcome to the program Fuckers. And today I'd like to talk about the horrors of owning a vintage watch. And I had a good friend over, Justin. Justin's a great fan of the channel. Really nice bloke. And I was talking to him about horology and watches, and he told me his story. And basically, many years ago, he saw the movie Le Mans with Steve McQueen, and he was enthralled by the Heuer Monaco. We're not talking Tag Heuer. This is before Tag Heuer was the company. It was Heuer. It was known as Heuer, and they had the chronograph, the Monaco. And this is a very unique chronograph. It's a square watch. And it's one of the all-time icons in horology. It's just a beautifully designed piece. It's just very unique, and it's a lovely thing to own. And he told me the story where he really wanted one. And when he first went into watches, he bought a Heuer Monaco, a vintage piece, and it's what you'd call a bitzer. It had bits and pieces from here, bits and pieces from there. It wasn't, I mean, was it fake? Not necessarily, but it just wasn't right. When he bought it from a Hong Kong seller, and the photos looked great. It was all fantastic. He wired the money, and when it arrived, it wasn't the same watch that was photographed. And for example, the dial was a fucking repainted dial, not an original dial. And he was just shattered. He had this bitzer, and he eventually got out of it, sold the pieces off, and he got most of his money back. But it's a very fucking disappointing experience. He tried to contact the seller. The seller basically ignored him, refused to answer emails, hung up on him when he rang up. It was just a fucking disaster. So he said, right, that's it. I'm going to get a proper Heuer Monaco. And he started the quest for one. And they're a very, very, we're talking about an early 70s sort of watch. Late 60s, early 70s. And they're very, very finicky. They're a vintage piece. It's like having a 60s or 70s car. It's not like a normal car. It doesn't have that reliability that you'd associate with owning a car. It has certain limitations, and it's just how it goes there. And there's not much you can really say there. It's it's a complete pain in the ass. So he started his quest for the perfect Heuer Monaco, and listen to this. Another dealer who he knows, who we both know very well, got one in, and it needed a service. So what do? You send it for a very specialized vintage piece. You send it back to Heuer, well, Tag Heuer now, and get them to service it. And a lot of the tools and that were used in this piece are no longer available or there. And it's funny, the watch came back and it didn't fucking work. It would run, if you ran the chronograph, it would run for 30 minutes, and then the whole watch would stop. Okay, so they sent it back again. And listen to this, when they got it back, in the Monaco itself, it's got you need a special tool to open the case and lock the case. They didn't have the tool, or it wasn't working properly. So guess what they did? They araldited the fucking case together. And I mean, I don't know if you fuckers know this, but the ultimate sin in watchmaking is you never use glue if you can avoid it. That's just nastiness. And it was just a fucking disaster. They'd sealed it with glue, and anyhow, the dealer hit the shits. He said, "This is fucked. This is terrible. I'm fucking really pissed off about this." And it's just an absolute horror story. The dealer ended up flicking it in Hong Kong in non-working condition. He hit the shits with Heuer and said, "Fucking take the glue out and send the watch back. I'm not having it with fucking glue in it." So I don't know how they removed the araldite, but they did. And it came back not working, and he just flicked it in Hong Kong. But the interesting thing is that my Justin's Quest, he eventually acquired a really mint Heuer Monaco, and it was about the $15,000 mark. I mean, that's a lot of money for a steel chronograph, even if it is a Heuer Monaco. And it was a good one. It was working well, and he had it for a while, and he just thought, fuck, what's going to happen when it needs service? What do? Do you send it to Tag Heuer and they fuck your one up? Do you send it to Switzerland? And he's heard stories of watches that have gone missing when they've gone in there, and the insurance is only a couple $1,000s, so you're out for thousands. And he just decided that was fucking it. He'll and he got out of it. I mean, that's basically it. He got his money back, and the rest is history. But some of these vintage watches, this is the problem. It's all very cool to have an original Heuer Monaco, but you think about it. If it's been used, like a lot of these weren't collector items then, people just used them. It's coming to a stage where some parts are worn out. It probably hasn't been serviced at regular intervals, you know. What the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do with these things? And it's a very nasty situation. Some of these really high-end brands, they're going to be incredibly difficult to service. I'm Archie Luxury, and this has been a Heuer Monaco disaster story. Tell me what you fuckers think of that.